player Sam Yabua and Cosmos to talk to us. We take initial reaction from the coach and then the players can follow, and then your questions will also follow. Thank you. Coach, how did it go for you?
Photo.
Charlie, what is it?
I think we did pretty well because their coach, him and I have played against each other before, and I knew it's normal team shape. So we managed to adjust, and we performed better in the second half because we were able to adjust our team shape at half time, and we performed very well in the second half. But even in the first half, it was a bit end to end, and although they had some entries into our final third and into our penalty box, we also had about 3 or 4 as well. So it was a bit end to end in the first half. They disrupted us a little bit in the first half, but that's because they changed their tactical formation, their team formation. But then once we matched that, we did well, and I have to say I'm very pleased for the players and the staff and of course the fans, but in particular the players, because the players have worked extremely hard over the last 5 weeks or so. Their attitude and motivation has been first class, and they're again a really determined group of individuals and team today, so I'm very pleased for them. It was good. Every game is I think for Arsenal, every game is a difficult game because every team that comes and plays against Arsenal, it's the cup final. So it's a cup final plus the national derby, and off the back of 3 derbies in a week. We've had 3 derbies in a week, and so added all together makes it very difficult. But that's part of the work, that's part of the job, and we coped with it very well today, and we overcame.
Thank you very much. My name is Zelda. I want to know your impressions on the penalty. Your supporters feel a little bit cheap. They think that it's a soft penalty. We needed not to be awarded. What do you think about it?
Well, actually, I've only seen it once, and it's so far away up the other end of the pitch, and everything's happening so fast. It's impossible for me to know, to be honest. But the referee's closer than me, much closer than me, and I thought the referee had a good game today. He was balanced in his approach to the game. Difficult game for any officials to control and to officiate on. And the referee's given it. There's been times this season so far where we felt we should have maybe had penalty opportunities. They haven't come our way. So today we got one that they deserve.
Yeah. Coach, what was the rationale behind the antics in the first part of the game? Players were falling down. Malika Kumwa first, Akurugu was next, and what was the rationale behind it? Why? Was it a strategy? Is it a new British strategy?
No, I think the individual players we're talking about, had some serious concerns with their welfare, and I think there was some issues there to do with. There were some issues there. There was one of them before the game was struggling a little bit. Another one wasn't 100% going into the game, so I took a chance there. And of course, if a goalkeeper goes down, he can't take any risks. He has to go down and make sure he's okay. So, the players have done that. So what I would like to comment upon, and I feel it's a very, very important point going forward, is that when a player does go down injured, another player from another team or from our own team is not a medical professional. They do not know the extent of the injury. So when the player is down, other players should not touch that player.
But in the case where the player went down on his own.
If you let me finish, okay? So in that situation, I don't know if Patrick Razak has got a broken neck or a broken arm or a broken ankle or a broken leg. The other player shouldn't touch him. And I wouldn't expect any of my players to pick a player up off the ground. That's just not on. That's not acceptable. That could have been serious. The guy, Patrick Razak, could have had a serious injury. We cannot do that, in my opinion. That's just not acceptable.
Coach, Inu Samusa did well in the first half. Inu Samusa, he did well in the first half. Was it a difficult one taking him out?
Yeah, and this has been the team since the start of the season. He's a stalwart, you know, he gives everything 100% for the team. He's got great leadership qualities. And so of course when you've got to adjust your centre back pair, you're always concerned. But I have to say that Richard Nuttall came in and handled himself very, very well as a replacement. So I'm very pleased with Richard.
Coach, from psychological perspective, last week Wednesday, you were the #1 enemy for the Accra Folk supporters because you lost to Tema Youth. Today you are #1. From your perspective, what's your reaction towards the fans?
Well, that's football, isn't it? That's to be expected from football fans. You know, football fans love you or hate you. You can be a hero 1 minute and down to zero the next. So it comes with the territory, it comes with the job. And of course, I've said before, the fans want us to win. They're very passionate, so I don't expect anything different.
Coach, what is actually wrong with Isaac Mensah? Because of late we've not been seeing him. Isaac Mensah. Please, what is wrong with him? Because we don't know what it is actually. He's not been on the field for some time.
Yeah, not this week, but last week, Isaac was sick a few times in training. And you know, it happened a few times, and I just haven't felt in the last week or so that it was appropriate for him to be in the squad. You know? That, as well as looking at the tactical substitutions you may have to make during the game. I just felt that there's other personnel that were appropriate. But I'm sure Isaac will get his chance. You know, there was a few weeks ago, Paul Aqua came from nowhere, wasn't even on the bench, came on, played very, very well, scored a goal, yeah, did very, very well. He's been back out of the squad and then he's been back on the bench. So I'm sure Isaac will get his chance, and when he takes it, like other players have done, like Richard Coffey today, he's going to take the chance.
Don't go. Hold on.